Hello Thornies, Gregor here. Going to do a first of the series of videos on the books that are here at Thornhaven. In the process of doing the renovations, many milk cartons, Rubbermaids, containers, cardboard boxes full of books that are going to get rehomed, and we're hoping you will help us rehome it. And what I'm going to do is pull out each container of books and show you the book and title and author, and then you can let us know if you're interested in it, whether you'll pick it up here in person or you want it shipped to you. Make those arrangements. Identify the video number it's from, so I know which milk carton, Rubbermaid, container to go to get that specific book. If you don't retain that information, you're out of luck, because there's a lot of books. So we're going to start with the first book, which is the first book out of the first container. And it says right on it, the first book. The first book of the Vikings by Louise Dickinson Rich. And it's Haliburton County Library book that has never been returned. So, the first book in the first video happens to be the first book of the Vikings. Then we have H.P. Blavatsky, The Key to Theosophy. Okay. The Ring of Power by Jean Sonoda Bolen, M.D. An illustrated Viking voyage, retracing Leif Erikson's journey in an authentic Viking canar. Says all 12 of us modern day Leifs are bundled on deck with no protection from the icy rain, the biting wind, the idiotic ambition. No wonder nobody does this anymore. I fall asleep sniveling. Carlos Castaneda's The Teaching of Don Juan, a Yaqui way of knowledge. Michael Harner's The Way of the Shaman. The Discovery of Time. Doesn't say who the author is. Edited by Stuart McCready. History. That kind of time. Treasures from the Tower of London. Arms and Armor. I was in the Tower of London last year, so that's cool. Looking at the Arms and Armor. Viking Myths and Legends. And we have some decals. Two Viking decals. So in the Viking Myths and Legends by K.E. Sullivan. Lady Tamara. Wow, there's somebody. I remember meeting her so many years ago. The White Witch Book of Spells. Selection of airplane images from the Northwest Territory Archives. Postcards. They're all postcards. Remember postcards? Go traveling, put a stamp on it, throw it in a mailbox. 1996 American Vinland Association, Yarbrough. The American Vinland Association newsletter. Dreaming the Dark, Magic, Sex, and Politics by Starhawk. The Vikings in Britain by H.R. Loyne. Magic and Witchcraft. Oh, the complete book of Magic and Witchcraft by Catherine Paulson. Sex Magic, Practical Handbook for Men and Women by Fauter, UD. Harness the awareness power of sex to magically achieve your every goal. Oh, here's one with a lot of notes in it. The Soul as a Healer, Lessons in Affirmation, Visualization, and Inner Powers by J. Joseph Nichols. Winemaker's Recipe Handbook, filled with over 100 easy-to-use, tested recipes. Remember, this is bin number 1. The Cannibal's Cookbook, Recipes and Remedies for Human Sacrifice by Paula Peck, Ph.D. Musashi's Book of Five Rings, the definitive interpretation of Miyamoto Musashi's classic book of strategy by Stephen H. Kaufman. The Power versus Force, the Hidden Determination of Human Behavior by David R. Hawkins, MD, PhD. Farley Mowat, The Curse of the Viking Grave. I remember Farley reading some stories at one point. I saw some of his last interviews. Dictionary of Earth Mysteries by Janet and Colin Board. Complementary Alternative Medicine, an Evidence-Based Approach by John W. Spencer, PhD, Joseph J. Jacobs, MD, MBD. The Complete Idiot's Guide to Palmistry. Some of you might want to get your hand on that book. Yeah, even the cat thought that was funny. Spells, Charms, and Talismans and Amulets, a Complete Guide to Magical Enchantment by Paula Ball. And the last one in our first container, The Adverse Effects of Herbal Drugs, 3. Edited by DeSmet, so it's it's a little bit of a textbook. So that, my folks, is container number 1. The first container we will go through, review what I've shown you. If you want any of those books, either come and get them, or we're throwing them in the mail. There'll be postage and all that. Wrap them up in paper and take them to the post office and put some stamps on them. So depending on how many books you want, we'll wrap them up, take them to the post office. They'll tell us how much it'll cost to mail them to you. You take care of that piece. There's no handling charges, shipping charges, just whatever the post office in South Mountain says it's going to be. Or come on out and visit us. They'll be in the bin number 1. Hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned for more. Like and subscribe. There is going to be at least a dozen of these in numerical order. This is our first one. Thank you very much. Stay tuned.